So you've been interested in the Task Factory Oracle Upsert destination for some time, but have been unable to really figure out how to configure it and what some of these error messages mean, so you kind of throw in the towel a little bit and say you'll visit it later. Well, in this demo, we want to kind of address those issues so that you can actually get the use out of the component itself. What we'll discuss here are common troubleshooting issues and errors that occur that appear to be as though it is the Task Factory Oracle Upsert destination causing the issue, when in reality, it's the database. So let's get started. First issue we want to look at is configuring the connection manager. Sometimes people will come into the Oracle ADO.NET Connection Manager and can try to configure a connection based on that. They'll select the provider and they think, oh, out of my list I have Oracle Client Data Provider. That makes sense. Let's select it. Click OK, and sure enough, we can view our PWVMs, their server name, and I can put in my username and then my password. I can enter it in and even test the connection successfully. I'll just save my password. Test connection. Hey, we verify it succeeds. So when we select this, we should expect this KWood3, well, to be entered in the connection manager field of the Oracle Upsert. We select OK, but it's not there. And we're greeted with an error message that says you must select an ADO.NET Oracle connection. Well, you just did. What exactly is the problem? Well, here's the issue. Let's cancel out of this. This is the connection manager we just configured. Notice from the provider I selected Oracle Client Data Provider. Well, that's not what you're going to use here. For the Upsert destination, you actually have to use either the unmanaged driver, which in my case I would use the unmanaged driver because I don't have a full client of Oracle installed on my machine. I only have a developer client. There would be another option here if you have the full client installed called Oracle Data Provider for .NET, and that would be the option you want to select, not the Oracle Client Data Provider as you've seen, because once that's selected, well, you're greeted with that error message. So I've actually already created an unmanaged driver. I'll go ahead and show you now. I'll cancel out of this. I'll go ahead and remove it because we don't need it anymore. So I'm opening it up and I see that I've already created a PWVM KWood. Well, that's my unmanaged driver. I'll open it up and show you how this works. So what I've done is from my provider list, I've selected that unmanaged driver. For the source, I've input my server name, which is pw_vm, and I've entered my password, and I have my username. Click OK, test connection, everything's good. We can click OK and exit out. Now, when we try to configure the destination connection manager, it's already there. And we don't get that ADO error message that to occur. So that's one error message. So once we have the Oracle Upsert destination configured, let's go ahead and get started. We select our table, and from the drop down we select our destination table, and that's fine. So what do? Okay, well, we know that we have to map our primary key, which is here, and we map our ID because that's obviously our primary key, and we're going to go ahead and just perform an insert and update. Why not? We'll do the Upsert effect. So we click OK and we expect, okay, let's get this executed. But wait, we have an error message. And we hover over it and we see, what did I do in my configuration? There's absolutely nothing wrong with my configuration. The Upsert looks great. It must be a bug. Must be a bug in the Upsert destination. But what you do is you'll end up maybe just trying to execute to see if you can get more in the execution results. The task immediately fails. And you see the Progress tab. And right up front and center we see Task Factory Oracle Upsert destination error. An error occurred with the following error message. Well, you copy it and you open up a file, notepad, and you just paste it just to kind of view what exactly the error message is saying. An error occurred with the following error message. Oracle requires any updates using join statements, which Upsert uses, to include either a unique index or primary key on the destination table. And it lists the destination table name. And you're like, well, I have a primary key selected. I mean, that's what I've done here, right? That's what I've done in the Upsert destination. When I open up the Upsert, that's what this field is. I've already mapped it. There's something going on here. It's weird information. Well, here's the issue. Just like the error message states, well, you need to have a primary key or unique index selected, we go into the Oracle database and we go to our destination table, which is this table here, the Oracle table destination. I right click, select open, or select edit, and we try to identify where that primary key is located. Well, we see ID, and Okay, there's a primary key column, but we notice that the primary key isn't selected. So we select the primary key. We click OK. Well, we've solved that problem, right? We should be good to go. So we open up the component and we see, oh, there's still an error message there. So you open up the component. Maybe you have to refresh it. So you go in, you select the drop down, click OK again, you verify your keys mapped, and the error message is gone. So you think, hey, that problem's solved. So let me go ahead and execute this again. So this will become the third error. We execute the task. You say, okay, I know as a fact my configuration is correct. The process is trying to run, tries to run, and then it immediately fails. And you think, what now? This has got to be ridiculous. You see this error message. So you pull open a notepad again, you remove the old error message, and now you add this one. And you go, okay, what's it saying? And again, it says Task Factory Oracle Upsert destination, system.exception, could not create temporary destination table. Name is already used by an existing object. The key here is a temporary destination table. When Oracle experiences an error within SSIS or an SSIS package, it creates a temporary table. That temporary table is stored in the Oracle database. So for our last error, where we encountered the primary key unique index error, when we tried to run that and it failed, it generated a table for us that shouldn't be there, that we actually have to manually remove in Oracle in order to get it to execute. That's this table here. The TMP UPS Oracle test table destination. Well, that's almost the same name as this one. Watch what happens. We come in here, table, drop table, purge, click apply, click OK. The table's gone. Now watch what happens to my process. We go in, we see execution results, we saw that same error message. Now when I right click, execute task, my process runs successfully without any issue whatsoever. Those are common scenarios. Those are probably the three most common issues that are encountered with the Task Factory Upsert destination. The issues 9 times out of 10, that means 90% of the time, or even 99.9% of the time, the issues are with the Oracle database itself and the data. The configuration of the Oracle Upsert destination is fairly straightforward, and you're right in thinking, yes, this is a simple basic UI and simply allows the user to perform an upsert function within the Oracle database. But when we are at the mercy of another database, whether it's SQL or an Oracle database, we have to consider the issues that might be presented. So we have to have our primary key selected and verify it and ensure that it is selected and it is our primary key. And then sometimes we also have to make sure we're using the correct connection manager for the Upsert destination. And even after running an execution that you think has succeeded, well, maybe a temp table has been created in the Oracle database that has to be refreshed and removed. The Upsert destination can't control that. Only the Oracle database has control over what the Upsert destination can do. A lot of common issues that we'll see are very much those are related to the connection manager itself and its configuration. And once they get past that, they may have an issue where the primary key isn't defined in the Oracle database. So these are common questions and common concerns. If you guys have anything else you'd like to add to it or another demonstration that you'd like to see, please reach out to us. Let us know. We'd be more than happy to help you and get you pointed in the right direction. Thanks.